Greetings and welcome. Today I wanted to share my latest 3 additions to the Topps 1957 football set I'm putting together. I'll start in chronological order, and I added card number 90, Buck Lansford. Lansford was an offensive tackle who was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles out of the University of Texas in the second round of the 1955 draft. He had the mentality of knock 'em down, then knock 'em down again. He made his only Pro Bowl in 1956. In 1957, he would be named an All-Pro, and in 1958, he and teammate Jimmy Harris were traded to the Rams for quarterback Norm Van Brocklin. Lansford would become a captain for the Rams until the 61 season, and then a dispute arose over him becoming a backup, which pretty much ended his career. The Rams tried trading him to the Cowboys, but the deal never really went into fruition, and he spent 3 years out of football before signing with the Oilers in 1965. But by the end of August, he had officially retired. Next, I added card 142 of John Martinkovich. And I am sorry for the pronunciation on that. I'm sure I don't have that correct. But he was a defensive end out of Xavier University in Cincinnati, and was drafted by the Washington Redskins and traded to Green Bay in 1951. He was a good enough pass rusher, but was an excellent run defender and was selected to 3 Pro Bowls and described by teammate Bobby Dillon as big, strong, and doesn't miss assignments. His best season was probably in 1952, and he never missed a game playing for Green Bay. He'd also spend his off seasons working as a car dealer at a car dealership. In 1957, he was traded to the Giants in exchange for a 3rd-round pick that the Packers used to draft Ray Nitschke. And he was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame in 1974. And the last card I'll show is card 145, and that's Sid Youngerman. Youngerman kind of has an interesting story. His father was named Max Josephowitz, and he was born in Russia. His father, not Sid, about where Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia meet today. And long story short, the dad fled to the U.S. via Germany and changed the family name to Youngerman, settling in Chicago before ending up in Brooklyn, where Sid was born. Youngerman got a scholarship to the University of Alabama to play basketball. And from what I can understand, he suffered some cultural shock from being a young Jewish man who grew up with Russian immigrants in New York and landing in Tuscaloosa. He ended up getting kicked off of the basketball team, and the Alabama athletic director, realizing the school had already spent tuition money, room and board on him, gave him the ultimatum of being kicked off and going back to Brooklyn or playing football. And ultimately he chose football, didn't want to go back to Brooklyn, and he helped Alabama win the 1952 Orange Bowl and played with Bart Starr. He was then drafted by the 49ers in the 54 draft in the 7th round, and eventually kind of bounced around for the next 8 seasons with stops in Philadelphia, Cleveland, the New York Titans of the AFL, and Buffalo. And kind of a fun fact, in the offseason, he earned his money as a professional wrestler. So football is probably a better choice than basketball. So with the Youngerman, Lansford, and Martinkovich. Those were the 3 I have added. That brings me up to a total of 145 out of the 155. So the magic number is now 10. So I appreciate you watching and enjoy your collection.